I found that kids kept mixing up mechanical weathering and chemical weathering. They couldn't sort them out exactly. And furthermore, when we talked about mechanical or physical weathering, they didn't get the basic idea of what it was, and then they couldn't understand all the examples I would use. So this is sculpting a child's mind. I take a black piece of construction paper, lay it on the table, and I give the kids 2 sandstone rocks. And I ask them, okay, in just a minute I'm going to ask you to grind these things together. But before you do it, I want you to formulate a hypothesis. Tell me what you think is going to happen. Right? So they go, okay, that's not too hard. Most kids have had experiences with rocks, but in a lot of schools they just had experience throwing them to each other. You'd be amazed that even a lot of the gifted and talented kids, they kind of thought they knew what would happen, but they hadn't actually done this before. So there was an element of novelty. In addition to that, I told them these were special rocks, Cretaceous age rocks, rocks that were in place at the time that the dinosaurs were walking the surface of the earth. Now, a geologist knows that that's true of just about every formation that we walk on, but the kids don't know. And so the fact that they think that these rocks are super what? Special, they'll say things like, are you sure we can touch them? Are you sure we can grind them? So all of a sudden, an activity becomes a special privilege for them. The novelty and the interest level get cranked up a little bit. That's to have what? To facilitate those kids that are inclined to not participate. So they make their prediction, they pick the rocks up, and they just grind them for 60 seconds. And then I ask them to do a quick write about their observations. Now all of this is done very purposefully with the end game in mind. I'm thinking about all the stuff about physical weathering that they're going to have to know. When they're done, I lay a nurse referral form on the desk and I say, you tell me how what happened there is related to that form. And then they think, what? Miss B, this is a nurse form. What does this have to do? I said, look at it. Just look at it for me. Well, on our nurse referral form, I say I had 3 little boxes to check: vomiting, fever, and abrasion. Guess which box was checked? The box that said abrasion. I said, okay, you've identified the word that's connected to the activity. Now tell me what that word means. 99.9% of your kids will either figure it out, or if they don't know, where do they go? They go to the glossary of the book and find out, because they actually are interested in knowing. Now here's the beauty of that common classroom experience. So the next day I have to talk about weathering related to wind movement, related to water movement. I have all these lessons related to physical and mechanical weathering. Before I start delivering that lesson, before I start more explaining and elaborating, every time I get ready to give them a brand new piece of information, I do this. As soon as I do this, a specific neural network fires instantly in all 30 heads sitting in my room. What are they doing? What are they doing?
Grinding stones.
They're grinding. Big rocks are becoming what? What do you end up with? A pile of sand, right? Sediment. So they say to themselves, okay, this thing that she's getting ready to tell me is related to this, right? And I go, okay, so what's the word? And they all say, abrasion. I will do this and elicit that response from those kids probably 30 times during that unit. Every time I do this, it's like mind control. They can't not think about it. I say, tell me the word. Abrasion, abrasion, all right already, we got it. But why do I activate that specific neural network over and over again? Because I know I'm getting ready to deliver a new piece of information, and I want to make absolutely sure that it gets attached to what? To the concept of big rocks becoming small rocks. Do you know what happens if kids don't have that kind of experience? I could teach the same set of lessons without that experience and have the net effect of learning be diminished by 60 or 70%. Because if I just throw factual information at kids and they don't have any experience to which attach it, do you know where it goes? This is what happens when kids don't have a cognitive hook or an experience related to what you're teaching. Here comes your piece of information, you fly it in with lots of good examples. It comes in, their brain doesn't recognize anything that's similar. It doesn't remind them of anything they've ever done, and it goes, and then here comes the next piece, and they're trying, they're not being lazy. It comes in and they go, I don't have anything similar in my experiences to relate that to. There it goes. But if I have the common classroom experience before I do all my, what we call explaining, every single new piece that comes in gets purposely attached to something they've done. And therefore they both understand it and they get a chance to keep it.